This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Tommy B here with This Is the G Podcast. No full episode this week, but we're still dropping your news recap with Syracuse Mike. Let's get into it.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
The jury in Sean Diddy Combs' federal criminal trial will likely begin deliberations today after receiving final instructions from the judge. On Friday, jurors heard closing arguments. The defense claimed prosecutors overstated their case, portraying Combs as having a swinger's lifestyle, not a criminal enterprise. But in a sharp rebuttal, the prosecution accused the defense of excusing the music mogul's actions and urged jurors to hold him accountable. The verdict could come in a few days. North Carolina Senator Thom Tillis says he will not seek re-election in 2026. The Republican made the announcement Sunday, just a day after voting against advancing President Trump's mega tax and spending bill, prompting the president to unleash a wave of insults and to vow to back a primary challenger. In a statement, Tillis said leaders who embrace bipartisanship and independent thinking are becoming an endangered species. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is also one of the Republicans who oppose the bill. Mr. Trump has said his Republican opponents are grandstanding. What does Paul think about that?
People have been saying the same thing. I say the same thing whether it's a Republican president or a Democrat president. And really both parties are to blame for this. The Democrats don't ever offer any spending cuts at all. They want more spending and more debt. They aren't concerned with debt. Republicans pretend and profess to be concerned with the debt, but in the end vote for the spending as well.
Trump has asked Congress to get the bill passed and on his desk by July 4th. It appears to have no Democratic support. Republicans in Congress are trying to give the president what he wants, his one big, beautiful bill. The White House is not backing down as it continues to pressure Republicans to push through the massive tax and spending bill.
The White House and the president are adamant that this bill is passed and that this bill makes its way to his desk.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, the issue Monday, various amendments under consideration by the Senate. The GOP would cut more than $1 trillion from Medicaid while extending 2017 tax cuts. In Manhattan, jury deliberations in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial were briefly disrupted Monday after jurors flagged one member for allegedly not following the judge's instructions. The panel reported concerns about juror number 25, a 51-year-old scientist with a PhD and a thick European accent. The judge told the group to continue deliberating. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and related offenses. Tuesday, the Senate passed President Trump's massive tax and spending bill.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative.
That meant the bill as amended passed. 3 Republicans joined all Democrats in voting against the bill. Many Americans won't see higher taxes next year under the latest budget deal moving through Congress, but some of the savings will come from cuts to health and food assistance programs, impacting many low-income families. The bill now returns to the House for final approval. Lawmakers are working against the clock to get it to the president's desk before the July 4th deadline. The judge in the Sean Diddy Combs trial has denied bail, so Combs will not go free before sentencing. The surprise decision can also be considered a hint that the sentencing could include jail time. The judge mentioned Combs' history of violence toward former girlfriends as part of the reason for his decision to deny bond. A New York jury found Combs guilty on 2 federal charges and not guilty on 3 others. After a 7-week trial, jurors cleared Combs of racketeering conspiracy, the most serious charge, plus 2 sex trafficking charges. He was convicted of transporting 2 women, including Cassie Ventura, for prostitution. The verdict came Wednesday after 13 hours of deliberation. On Thursday,
The motion is adopted.
and with that, the sweeping Republican bill to cut taxes and reduce federal benefits like Medicaid is heading to President Trump's desk after narrowly passing the House 218 to 214.
This big, beautiful bill fulfills all the promises in the America First agenda.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson. The vote followed overnight debate and a record-breaking speech by Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. The legislation, officially called the One Big Beautiful Bill, is set to be signed into law by the president during an Independence Day ceremony at the White House. Democrats unanimously opposed the measure, calling it a political gamble as the country heads into the 2026 midterms.
Big thanks to Syracuse Mike for keeping us locked in. The crew's back with episode 274 this Sunday. Expect news, politics, pop culture, and that piping hot tea from the one and only Tanya B. Our live taping is this Saturday, July 12th at noon. If you want to join us live, links are in the bio. Stay safe out there and have a great week.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.